Just because I love you, it don't mean I trust you. Everybody not to be trusted. Everybody around me thugging. Everybody around me drugging. Everybody around me hustling. Everybody know not to bring no new rigging around me. They say I be bugging. Got racks in the go-yard luggage. Just because I love you, it don't mean I trust you. Everybody not to be trusted.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Uncut with Q. I'm your host, Quentin Flores, and today I got something pretty special and practical for all of you that are listening to this right now, okay? And so I love going to the gym. It's taught me a lot in business, all right? And truthfully, y'all, I would not be where I'm at in business if it wasn't for getting my body right. For a lot of you that might not know, and this is your first time listening to this podcast, I've lost a little over 200 pounds within 4 years, focusing on the gym, focusing on my health, focusing on my fitness. And it's just been such a beautiful experience. And let me tell you something, I have such a clarity like I've never known before. I have strength that I have never experienced in my entire life. And I just have a love for the gym and a love for just growth in all areas, physical, mental, spiritual, that I've never really attained before until I decided to take my life back. And so that's where I'm speaking from today, okay? Now, for a lot of you guys, whether you're starting your real estate business or you're starting off on your fitness journey or a business in general, most of the time when I get questions from y'all, and this is very, very, very often, and especially on Instagram, I'm very active. If you ever message me, I'm the one that's replying to all of your messages. And for all of y'all that might be watching this, whether you're on Apple Podcast, Spotify, any streaming platform, there's a little link in the description, okay? And so that's linked to our podcast hosting website that we use to launch this on 50 plus platforms at one time. And essentially what you guys can do is you can ask me questions, but this is something that I get for a lot of people, okay? Whether I've spoken it at a real estate event or I've spoken at a conference, you know, and people approach me on this all the time, and they always ask me, they say, Q, what's the best way to close my first real estate deal? That is the question that I get. And I promise y'all, it's crazy because this is my practical best answer to that question. Massive imperfect action creates perfect action. And this is how it works, okay? So when I first started going to the gym, I remember it was the day after Thanksgiving in November of 2022. We were just getting out of the lockdown and COVID was happening still. And so during this time frame, I was, you know, very, very unhealthy. I remember that day I fried a turkey, and that was just probably like my last very, very unhealthy meal for a long while until I finally got to a point where I could have cheat days. But I went cold turkey. I jumped straight into a diet, jumped straight into the fitness. The very following day after Thanksgiving, I was on my way to the office because we were looking at locking up a real estate deal. A lady was in town for just a moment, and we were going to put her property under contract. I was driving past an LA Fitness with my brother-in-law, and he actually was like, Q, there's a gym here. They have a basketball court inside. Why don't you pull around? Like, I remember he kind of like taunted me about it. He said, you won't turn around and get a gym membership. And I popped a Yui right there in the middle of the highway. And I went into the gym parking lot, walked in, and I got my first ever gym membership, which was at LA Fitness. Okay. Now, I work where my office is at here, okay, and in this gym, I have my access to about 2 different gyms here, and outside workout area, there's just a lot of equipment here. I have my own personal gym as well, which is kind of cool. But prior to all of this would be my first introduction into just being in a gym-like environment. And so I promise you guys this that are listening to this right now, I had absolutely no clue what the heck I was doing. Like none whatsoever, zero. I had no clue. And so for me, when I started really doing this and at the beginning, my goal was to just start doing it. Okay. So I didn't have all the answers. I didn't have the strategies. I didn't have the scripts. I didn't have any paperwork. I didn't have nothing. All I knew was if I go to the gym and I get on a machine, the machine instructions are going to guide me, and I'm just going to go in and create movement. And so I had very rarely worked out when I was in high school, and even then worked out rarely while I was in middle school, where really the 3 core exercises that we ever practiced were bench, squat, deadlift. So that's really all I knew, and that's all I came from. And I never got really taught form or any of those things. Somebody just kind of told me the motion, and that's what I learned. And so that's what I brought into the gym, and that's kind of what I was focusing on. And at the time frame, I was just literally working out every single muscle sporadically. I didn't really target muscle groups yet. I was just going, and if I felt like doing this, that's what I was going to do. If I didn't feel like it, then I didn't do it. And legs were non-existent, you know? And so I was very, very heavy during this time frame, and it was hard for me to fit in certain machines. So I would pick up boxing gloves and punch a bag. I would do push-ups. I would do sit-ups. I would walk on the treadmill. And so after a while, doing it just gave me a routine. And so guys, for y'all that are asking me that question, say, Q, how do you close your first real estate deal? Massive imperfect action leads to perfect action. I went to the gym by myself with no guidance, no help, and I was able to lose 60 freaking pounds within a year just doing it the way that I was doing it. Now, mind you guys, I learned a lot. I would go and I would mirror other people. I would walk into the gym and I would talk to other gym heads that were there, that were working out, that were trying to get ahead, that were trying to learn more too. And some of them had already been working out for decades, and some just brand new like I was. We were all in the same building, and it was such a great, humble experience, great community. And I would just ask questions, you know, and so I didn't know what real form looked like. I didn't know what core exercises look like. I didn't know how to isolate muscle. Nobody taught me how to connect the brain to the muscle. And it was just like a beautiful thing for me to kind of go in there and at least get going. And so my advice for you guys that ask me all of the time is, say, how do you close your first real estate deal? Dude, the information is out there. What you need to do is stop trying to figure out if there's a crazy secret on how to do it, and get in your car, start taking massive imperfect action, start driving neighborhoods, start looking for houses that are just completely torn down, or like overgrown grass, holes in the roofs, broken windows. Those are what you want to go after. And then write those addresses down, look those homeowners up on a freaking internet, because it's absolutely free. Start calling them and making them offers, utilizing YouTube videos where you see people doing this all day, every day. You can go on my YouTube right now, and I have over 100 plus videos of me cold calling people and locking up motivated seller leads. I've been done doing this, okay? And so the reason why I'm telling you guys this right now is because at the beginning, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I just wanted to go out there and do it, and I didn't care to go to these conferences and meet people like me and just talk to them and try to figure out what special stuff that they were doing. It didn't matter to me. What mattered to me was getting results. And so I went out there and I figured it out. And that's what you guys got to do, man. Ain't nobody in this world going to carry you or hold your hand through it if you're not going to freaking pay them. I'm just going to be real. And if you're watching this right now, or you're listening to this and you're like, dang, Q, you know, I mean, I have money to invest in a mentor. Not everybody does. Some of you guys are listening to this right now. You don't have more than $300-400 to your name to just invest in a mentor, and you're literally living check to check, bill to bill, and it's like that, and it's completely okay. But during that time frame is when you're tested the most, and that's when you need to go out and, with what God has given you, use massive imperfect action to get results. Once you get results and you hit a plateau, well, you've already made enough money. Now you can invest in the next level. And so for me, the next level after I'd hit that plateau was investing in my first personal trainer. And my personal trainer completely changed the way that I looked at everything. I stopped just going to the gym and making the routine the routine. I started going to the gym and actually having a plan. So the beginning of your real estate journey, the goal is to create the routine first, then you have the plan. Then you honor metrics. Once you have the plan and the metrics, those two things are going to carry you to your next real estate deal. But just doing enough is enough at the beginning, because you're doing more than what most people are willing to do. Once you get to that point where you've hit your plateau, then the goal is to hire a coach or a trainer and hold yourself accountable with the coach there guiding you along the way. And so, man, my trainer taught me how to separate my muscle groups. On Mondays, I do legs. On Tuesdays, I do chest. On Wednesdays, I do arms and shoulders. On Thursdays, I do back. And then on Fridays, I do a full core workout, which I typically rotate the 3 core exercises, which is squat, bench, and deadlift. And that's all I focus on. And on Saturdays and Sundays, I do low intensity cardio. I'm meal prepping. I'm eating about 4 to 5 meals a day. My goal is to eat at least a minimum of 250 grams of protein, and my carbohydrates is about 150 grams. And so like I'm eating and I'm drinking a crap ton of water, staying hydrated. Electrolytes are very important to me. And so what I'm saying is that once you have the routine, then you can critique it. Then you can start isolating what it is that you do Monday through Friday to get the results that you want. And so, man, it's so crazy how fitness really just bleeds into real estate and business, because what I've learned here, I've been able to apply over here, right? And so, man, my message for you guys and why I wanted to come on here and do this podcast is because this question has been haunting me for a while now, and I don't think I've actually addressed it before. But the goal is to get going, move. Okay, you're not a freaking tree. You can literally move. You can go in the direction that you truthfully believe that you're capable of going, and grow and learn and make the mistakes and critique yourself and continue to just have forward progress. But sitting there and asking questions and just trying to learn and soak things up, there's these people that we have at these events that we throw. We call them event junkies. And an event junkie just goes to events to feel good about themselves, but they never actually see success. That's not what I want for any of you guys, man. If you're listening to this and that's you and you're stuck in analysis paralysis, I'm going to urge you to just get off of your butt and go out there and put in the work. Okay? Ain't nothing that you do is going to skip that. Ain't no software, ain't no system, ain't no freaking dialer, SMS tool. None of these things, these apps or whatever that people have available is going to make you skip the work. You cannot skip the work. And I promise you, when you go through this and you take massive imperfect action, you will lead yourself to great things. And that action that you will begin to take will then be perfected, and then you critique it even further. Okay? And so, guys, you know, again, ain't nobody started in the business perfect. Ain't nobody started in the business with everything handed to them. Most of us are starting from the ground up. No inheritance, no crazy rich parents. And because of that, we have an edge, okay? We have an edge. And so if you're watching this, you're starting from scratch, I promise you it's the best place to go, because there's only up from here, all right? Massive imperfect action is still action. Eventually, you take so much action, you'll fucking figure it out. And now you have actionable steps that are leading you to perfection. That's my message. Love you guys so much. I'll see y'all on the next one. Let's get it.